Hi, guys. You're watching Hello Crypto Kitty podcast with Rosie Tran. I'm here today with Anwuli Okeke, who is the founder of a new NFT platform. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Happy New Year, by the way.
Thank you. I'm really excited to have you and to talk about your new platform and, tell us how you got into it, how you started it, how you even discovered crypto.
Sure, definitely. But first of all, just want to say a big thank you to you for having me on here. So, for everyone out there who is listening, I reached out to Rosie blind, never having met, never having met her at all via an email, and she was kind and gracious, and she responded, and here we are today. So, thank you.
Of course.
So let me just go ahead and answer your question. So I'm the founder of a platform called Ilunafriq, and what we are is an NFT aggregator. So I joined the NFT Twitter, well, X community now, X, in 2021 at the height of the crypto bull run, and I
I know
immediately,
I still call it Twitter. I can't call it X.
it's such an iconic name, I think. So anyway, so I joined the NFT Twitter community in 2021 at the height of the crypto bull run. So I'm somewhat of a serial entrepreneur. So at the time I was working on an idea and a member of my team put me on to this community saying that, they were active, they were live, they had all these different problems that needed to be solved, right? And so I pivoted into that community. And immediately I joined the NFT community, I immediately noticed the friction in viewing, sharing, consuming artwork. Because let's be honest, Twitter isn't really set up for art consumption, but that's what the NFT community was using at the time to share, to connect, to navigate, and all of that. And as a Web2 user coming into Web3, I immediately noticed that friction and decided to solve it. And so here we are today.
Okay, so before we move forward, I just want to explain some things because this is a crypto podcast, but some of my fans and listeners are not experts in crypto. So some of the terms, let's just slow down really quick. NFT is non-fungible token.
Correct.
And why don't you explain that for some listeners or watchers who don't know what that means?
Sure. So NFT literally means non-fungible token. And what that just means is you cannot swap one for the other. So when you say something is fungible, it means one can easily replace the other. So let's think of a bottle of milk or a glass of milk, right? Each is fungible. So if I have a glass of milk and you have a glass of milk, I can easily swap mine for yours. But non-fungible means you cannot trade them for the other. So I am non-fungible and you fungible. And your podcast is also non-fungible, right? So that's what that is. So NFTs, anything can be registered as an NFT. So any content at all, it could be real estate, it could be identity, it could be even your certificates, right? To prove authenticity, you can put it onto the blockchain and automatically you have an NFT. So, and then crypto is actually currency. So cryptocurrencies could be used for investments, transactions. So I know that a few folks, get confused with the terminology. So I just want to, differentiate NFTs from crypto.
So it's a way to validate the authenticity. So like you said, a glass of milk versus a glass of milk, that's the same thing. But if you want to have a piece of artwork, for example, and you want to create it into an NFT to prove authenticity, and the importance of that, I think a lot of people don't understand is that you can validate that something is real. So for example, if you create an original piece of artwork, and someone creates a copy of it and sells a fake of it, you can use that NFT to verify that that was your original piece of artwork that you created. And so actually a security measure in a way to validate that something is real and authentic and that money, say I buy that artwork, is actually going to you, the creator, instead of a copycat or a fake.
Correct.
And fakes are a big deal in the art world, obviously. And it's a way also for creators, independent creators, to create income or create authenticity and make sure that money goes to them instead of some third party.
Exactly. So I'm so glad you mentioned that because yes, NFTs are definitely used for ownership, authenticity, verifiability, intellectual property rights, copyright, and everything in between. And so for the very longest time, creators have always struggled to prove, that they created this piece of work, right? Because somebody could easily say, well, your work inspired mine, right? And so, no, you don't get any credit for that. But
Yes.
with blockchain, you can actually prove that you own this, you created this, you built this. And because these tokens can be programmed, what then happens is that creators are able to track any use of their work, any resale of their work, and they can make claims on any future royalties. So that's something else that has been very exciting for artists. And that's why, the creative community has been very excited, because finally, when their work gets reused, gets resold, gets, moved from one person to the other, you can track its movement, and then you can get commissions or fees or, any sort of tokens from that use of your work. So, yeah.
Yes. And this has been going on actually for years, but the artist hasn't been paid sometimes. It's the, middleman. And so I think what you're saying is really, really exciting and interesting. And I'm just going to give an example again, because this is a crypto podcast, but some of the listeners are not crypto experts. So for example, you make a beautiful piece of artwork and someone decides to use it in a movie. So you can track that with the NFT to get royalties off of that. Or maybe you create a song and again, someone uses it in a feature film or uses it in a short film or uses it in some type of online work. It's tracked then back to you to get that commission off that IP. Is that correct?
Very correct. And furthermore, let's say you also, create work in collaboration with other people. Now you can have fractional ownership of that intellectual property. And so in the past, you could have maybe one person being the primary and then that person getting all of the credit and then having to divvy that credit up between, fellow collaborators. Now fractional ownership is possible because all of you can now, own that piece of work, verify that you own that piece of work. And so you can make those claims and you can get all of that money coming through. And so, yes, your example is spot on. Thank you.
Yes. Awesome. That's an amazing technology. So I just wanted to dummy it down a little. No insults to anyone who doesn't understand, just because, when I first got into crypto and NFTs and other things like that, I was very overwhelmed by the terminology. And so I like to break it down so that listeners and viewers can feel a little bit more, clear on what some of this means, because I think sometimes people in the community like to use a lot of the jargon and it can confuse people. And I'm not, saying that that's wrong. Obviously, that's what it is. But the average person is still, I think, very overwhelmed by some of the language.
No, I completely agree with you. And honestly, that was something else I also struggled with, because coming into the space, you have a ton of blockchains, a ton of marketplaces, a ton of terminology. And the crypto community, forgive me, they love their acronyms, right?
They love it.
There is, this one and that one, and, so many acronyms, and you just have to keep up on all of them. And so I tell you, I'm still learning myself as I go, because there's always some acronym that pops up and I have to keep up.
You're like, what is? Yeah, that's what happens when you get a bunch of programmers and engineers around. They love to make that kind of stuff. So how is an NFT aggregator different from NFT marketplaces that support multiple blockchains?
Yes. So your typical NFT marketplace, say Magic Eden, OpenSea, Rarible Foundation, there's just throwing out a few names that I think a few of your listeners may be familiar with.
And OpenSea is the one that had the ape, right?
Yes,
so everyone knows about the ape, right? The ape NFTs that were selling for millions of dollars.
Exactly. So everyone might be familiar with OpenSea. That's a big one. That's the biggest one. Magic Eden is a new one too. So yeah, so you have a marketplace, and those marketplaces are typically to trade and mint NFTs. So let me take a step back and really dummy it down. So in the NFT space, you have a lot of blockchains. So NFTs rely on blockchain technology. And so that blockchain technology, tons of them exist. There is Ethereum, there is Tezos, there is Solana. I'm sure some of you have heard these names. And so that's what that blockchain technologies are. Now, the marketplaces are built on top of these blockchains. And so you could have a marketplace that's built primarily on Ethereum. You could have another that's built on Tezos. You could have another that's built on Solana. So when you really think about it, you have a ton of blockchains and more are still coming out. People are developing more. And then you have all of these marketplaces, right? But then there wasn't really any one space that brings it all together in a unified way. So when you come into the Web3 world, for each of those marketplaces, you need a different wallet. And each wallet has, its own setup, your own name and, keys and, and all of that, right? So imagine being an artist. You have your artwork in multiple places, no way to connect them all, no way to see your entire body of work. If I want to check out your work as an artist, you're sending me to 5 different places, 6 different places. So to answer your question, marketplaces are really a space to trade and mint NFTs, right? They are those spaces that are built on top of each of those blockchains. Whereas Ilunafriq is an aggregator that brings all of those NFTs into a single space. So it's a single portal to see it all. So
So what I'm hearing is NFT aggregator is kind of like a bridge that they can all talk to each other in the same language.
So think of it like a one-stop shop, right? Instead of going to Target and Walmart and over there and buying the one over there, buying the one over there, and buying the other one over there, Ilunafriq brings them all together, the aggregator, into one spot and says from here, you have a unified portal to see it all. You no longer have to have like 5, 6, 7 different tabs open on your browser. You no longer need 5, 6, 7, accounts that you need to manage. You no longer need to toggle between different platforms, trying to find the artwork. Now you can do all of that in one space.
It's almost like each marketplace is like a different language, right? French,
Right.
Spanish, Turkish, Arabic, and your aggregator translates all of them into one language so that there's one portal, there's one click, there's one stop.
Exactly. You couldn't have said it any better. And the reason that came about again was because when I joined the community, I was just
Your
flabbergasted.
head was spinning. You're like, why do I need 7 tabs
Oh,
open?
what is this? What is going on? Like I want to see your body of work and I can't see all of your work because it's scattered everywhere, right? And I need multiple accounts. I need to remember, I need to save all the 16, 17, different digits, alphanumeric codes for like, it's just, I honestly, so it's
You're
not
like, I need 7 password managers. What's going on?
and I also have to remember my Web2 usernames and passwords. Thank you.
Yeah.
Right?
Along with the private keys, along with the wallet addresses, and your head spinning.
Yes. And God forbid your alphanumeric password gets lost. Then what do? You're stuck, right? So that's the idea with aggregators. They bring it all together. They collate, they gather, they make it easy and seamless and very enjoyable, should I say, to find, discover, explore, and consume artwork.
Awesome. So does the aggregator specifically deal with artists or their musicians or just anything that can be NFT?
Anything that could be NFT. So right now, so let me preface that by saying that aggregators deal with everything. But since we're still building, just want to be full transparency. I don't want to mislead anyone at all. Today we support, audio, video, audio, visual. But as we continue to grow in our roadmap, I'm sure there are also many types of NFTs that, we are yet to support, and we will support them as we go along. But for today, though, it's artwork, your audio, your video, your audio visual, your static images. Yes, those sorts of things. So it's any sort of NFT, really.
What's been your most interesting client? Like, have you, obviously, I'm sure you have all sorts of artwork. Are there any types of things that censor or don't allow through the aggregator? Like if someone's doing X-rated, artwork or other things like that?
So far, no. The only thing that we really, really frown upon is any sort of plagiarism, or any sort of theft. So if it's brought to our attention that this person is a bad actor, we really, really frown on bad actors. So, but besides that, no, anything and everything is, welcome on the platform. And the platform is for both artists and collectors. So a collector is someone who collects art. So you can be both artists and collectors. Say you create art, but then you also, consume art from other people, or you support your friends, or whomever. Or you could even be an institution, right, that, buys artwork as a sort of investment. So that entire spectrum is welcome on the platform, is used. Those are users of the platform. In addition, we have marketers and promoters. Say you have an upcoming drop in the next, I don't know, 3 weeks, and you want to promote that drop ahead, right? To just, again, build momentum, get everybody excited. You can do that on Ilunafriq too, because we are a promotional platform as well that tries to bring visibility and discovery to emerging artists and, of course, mature artists as well.
So I just have an NFT question in general that maybe you can answer. Obviously, you're supporting artists and things like that. And you said you guys are very anti-plagiarism, but I know in art there is a lot of sampling. There is a lot of um, inspiration, right? So I mean, the music industry for sure. There's tons of sampling. In the art world, there's tons of inspired by. Is the NFT world a way to actually compensate people for that sampling, compensate for that I mean, I wouldn't call it plagiarism, but I would call it, inspiration, because in the past, sometimes artists and musicians and creators haven't been able to be credited in that way. So I'm wondering if that's a way to actually um, pay creators based on inspiration.
Yeah, I'll definitely say yes. So I just want to reiterate that plagiarism and, to your point, inspiration are two very different things. It's one thing to steal someone's work, it's another to be inspired by their work, create your own original work, and then, mention or give them credit where it's due. So the latter is definitely encouraged, but the former is something that we frown upon. And yes, if you do get inspired, you create this piece of work that is yours, and you're able to stamp it onto the blockchain and verify that you're the owner. It's authentic to what you do. Then yes, NFTs are a great way for you to be able to get compensated for your work, for your creativity, and everything in between. As long as you're able to find a ready market, able to purchase and consume that piece of artwork, then definitely. And NFTs have historically been synonymous with artwork, but honestly, real estate is a major driver of the market these days. We're starting to see that as well, where fractional ownership of real estate is also enabled by blockchain technologies. And, it allows that authenticity and verifiability of who owns that asset.
Yeah, so that's actually a big deal because title issues are huge in real estate. Whenever
Exactly.
someone,
And they prop up all this, especially in emerging markets too.
yeah,
Developed markets, maybe not so much, but in emerging markets, you have that, opaqueness when it comes to who owns this property, how was it handed down through generations, and all of that. So yes, NFTs help in that regard as well. So I just share that just to say that yes, NFTs have a huge case when it comes to artwork, but then they also bring innovation to a diverse, set of industry.
so what is that business model for you guys?
So for us, it's a subscription-based model where that subscription kicks in for our premium features. In other words, we take no commission or fees on it or on any of your sales. And the reason we do this is because we just find that it allows for financial transparency, but more importantly, artists don't have to worry about any sort of hidden fees eating into their profit, right? Ultimately creating this sort of environment that supports artists and allows them to focus on doing their best work. So the platform is free to use initially, but then as you try to upgrade to premium features, then there's a subscription that's attached to that.
Okay, so it sounds like you guys are just offering the service, pay it's a flat fee, and then if you guys sell, $1 million of artwork or $5 of artwork, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. Because we just find that, that financial transparency is important. And we're just here to support artists as well. So our focus right now is really removing the friction when it comes to consuming artwork, making it easy to onboard Web2 users to Web3, and then ultimately, building a product that users love. So yes, we want folks to, hop on there, try it out. And then ultimately, when they want to upgrade, we believe that you will want to upgrade. We believe that you will see the value in what we're doing and understand how it eases your life, makes it easy to consume art, discover art, explore art, and more importantly, even manage your portfolio, your NFT portfolio. And then, at some point down the road in your journey, you can subscribe, and then yes, that fee kicks in. And you'll be hard pressed to find a lot of platforms doing that these days because when it comes to minting NFTs, something I discovered when it comes to minting NFTs, they can be quite expensive. Lately, the fees have been a lot more affordable, as the technology matures, as more blockchains become available. But initially, when I first joined the community, yes, minting was quite expensive. And so we exist to help remove some of that burden from artists, help to lift, some of that burden by providing a way for them to, showcase their entire body of work, but more importantly, be professional when they try to present themselves. I'll give you an example if you don't mind.
I'll give you an example.
Yes, of course. So, remember I mentioned I joined the NFT community in 2021. So initially I was trying to just buy artwork because I'm sort of a failed artist myself. I used to create art before, but I think
Failed.
because I don't create art anymore, I figure, my superpowers are best used to create infrastructure that helps artists do what they do better. And as an artist myself, I can kind of, empathize with the struggle, so to speak. So that's why I say fail, because I no longer create artwork. I just create
Well, what type of artwork were you creating?
Well, I used to sing in a band. Yes, I still play the guitar and I draw.
Okay. So that's I wouldn't say failed. I would say you're an artist that is pursuing other things right now because you never know what's going to happen, right?
True. Okay. Very true. Very true. So, like I would talk to different artists and then they'll try to share their artwork with me because I want to support them. I want to purchase, right? But then they will send me in all sorts of different directions. They will send me multiple links and I'm clicking on multiple things and I'm trying to find them because their name on X or Twitter may not be the same name they use in this marketplace or that.
I know that pain all too well because
Right.
somebody took my name, or I had a very consistent name, but then someone took it on Instagram. So on Instagram, I have a different name than on my other platform.
Exactly. So imagine, right? I'm asking an artist, hey, you know what? Send me your link. Let me check out your work, right? And A, you can't even see their entire body of work. Say you want to commission them for something. Or B, the name that they have on X is not the same name they have on platform A or platform B or marketplace C. So I'm literally going to that marketplace, having to navigate a whole different website, find that artist, consume their artwork, and then go to another website and do the same thing for that same artist. And God help me if their name is not the same across 3 different marketplaces. And so making it hard for me to buy the artwork just turned me off. I'm like, guys, like seriously, make it easy for me to make a purchase. And so again, that was another thing we're looking to solve too, because with a single link, you can show everybody your entire body of work. It's a more professional way to present yourself. It's a more elegant way to present yourself. And it just makes it easy for collectors to collect. So yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like it's making everything in one click, one location, one place, and aggregating all of those usernames and platforms and things into something that's user friendly.
Exactly.
I'm assuming you guys are a startup and you guys have investors and have done some raises and stuff.
So yes, we are a startup. And then very quickly before I answer this particular question, just want to mention that on Ilunafriq as well, we give you the option to determine so you have you have your own unique URL. In other words, if you want to match your name to your ex name, you can do so. So when you send the link, I don't have to worry, is it the same person? You can actually customize your name and, make that URL unique to yourself. So we don't have investors at this time because honestly, our focus has been fostering organic growth with zero incentives and just maintaining financial independence as a strictly self-funded team. So right now we're bootstrapping. And we're just trying to, again, ensure that we are solving a true problem for users, just trying to nurture and build that community and building a product that users love. Because at the end of the day, we want to create something that really hits home for a certain target market.
So what are your plans for expansion and future growth?
Oh, definitely. Girl. We have a whole spreadsheet. So we will be fundraising at some point in time, but as part of that conversation, we want to be able to show key milestones and key metrics to accompany each of those milestones. So there is a thought or there is a madness, to the entire process. But as part of the entire roadmap, there are quite a few features that the community is asking for. And so some of them are part of that roadmap. So for instance, supporting a broader bandwidth of formats and NFT styles and NFT types that we can definitely support. That's there. We have a bookmark feature. We have thematic galleries coming together. Thematic galleries just mean that if you and I are working on a joint project and we're both working on different blockchains, we can showcase that project on Ilunafriq together. So we are blockchain agnostic, right? So today we...
I love that phrase. Okay.
Yes, we're blockchain and marketplace agnostic. And today we support about 13 chains, but then, new chains keep popping up all the time. And we keep having requests from the community to support this or support that. So we continue, of course, to expand that. And we have quite a few features, quite a few requests. So our roadmap is quite long, and but again, listening to the community and just trying to grow in tandem with our community. Yeah.
Okay, so let's say I'm not, but let's say I'm an artist and I want to onboard onto the platform and link up all my different NFTs onto the platform. What is my first step? How do I get started?
It's available on the web, right? It has to be. And it's a mobile first and friendly design. And all you need to do is just, username and password. You connect your wallet. Once you connect your wallet, automatically that import starts to happen on your behalf. So we do all of the hard work and all of the heavy lifting for you. So our website is ilunafriq.com. Once you hop on there, you can create your own username, you can connect your wallet, and honestly, that's it.
And we will have the links to everything on the website and also in the show notes, but it is ilunafriq.com.
Correct. Exactly. And then once you connect your wallet, we automatically import all of your NFTs. And then you as the artist or you as the collector, you now can organize your NFTs however you want. So I have an artist that actually organizes their NFTs by marketplace. So when you hop onto their profile, you can see there are different folders. A folder is exactly what you have on your computer, on your laptop, say Microsoft, right? Everybody knows Microsoft, right? So you have a folder and you can literally create a folder to organize your NFTs however you want. You can organize by marketplace, you can organize by blockchain, you can organize by type. Say you want all of your portraits in one folder, you want your landscapes in another, you can do that however you want. It just makes it easy to create targeted galleries to suit each of your audiences, right? Say you have a collector who collects NFTs on Tezos. Tezos is a blockchain. And, you're trying to entice them. You can just send them a folder with all of your Tez NFTs. No longer do you have to send them to multiple marketplaces, right? So yes, you hop onto the platform, you connect your wallet, and then everything is imported, and then you organize your life and you're good to go.
All right. Well, we need to wrap up, but you're a founder and you're in this quite technical world, but you're also an artist. So how do you combine those different parts of your personality from the creative to the technical?
Sure. So I love the technical. My background is actually in finance. I have a master's degree in finance as well. So I love numbers and all of that. And so how do I combine? Well, I love working in numbers. I love doing stuff in Excel. I love all that technical stuff. But then when I want to relax, I play my guitar. I sing.
That's lovely. And I think that everyone actually, I know a lot of people act like they're, oh, I'm not a creative person, but I think everyone actually has that side of them. It's just like the masculine and feminine, right? We all have a little bit of masculine and a little bit of feminine energy. It just depends on who you are, if it's more one way or the other, but we all have the creative and then we all have the technical. It's just some people have more on one side than the other.
Yeah, exactly. And then sometimes when I'm doing technical stuff, when I'm building Ilunafriq, I play music.
You're combining both.
Yeah.
So much for being a guest on Hello Crypto Kitty Podcast.com. Everyone check out the platform if you're an artist or if you want to invest in artwork. And like you said, there's a room for investors that are looking to purchase artwork as well. It's all aggregated into one space per artist. So it's an easy way to discover new artists and discover new talents. And do you have anything else you want to share before we wrap up?
Just quickly, again, I just want to say a big, big, big thank you to you. Thank you so much for having me on here. Very honored. Very honored.
Of course. So guys, check out Hello Crypto Kitty podcast. We are on Rockfin and YouTube. So check us out on Rockfin. Rockfin is a podcasting platform where you can give us tips with crypto. And that is our main platform. But if you don't have Rockfin, then you can check us out on YouTube. This has been Hello Crypto Kitty podcast.com with Rosie Tran. As always, I'm Funny Rosie on all platforms except for Instagram, where I'm out of the box Rosie. This has been Hello Crypto Kitty podcast with Rosie Tran. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.